live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Loungetime. I'm your host, Richard Saile, and today is not the episode you think it is if you're a football fan, because we're in the off season. But if you're a college basketball March Madness junkie like me, today is the episode you've all been waiting for. Now, I'm a little late to the brackets party, but I wanted to make sure that I had everything thought out. I knew exactly who I'm going to pick. And I'm going to tell you guys this. This is how it's going to work, because we're going to do today's episode a little bit different than we've done any other episode before. Okay? So, I did my reaction live to when the bracket got revealed for both each region. Okay? And then I made my own bracket based on my judgment, my knowledge of these teams. Okay? When I sat back and tried to make the bracket about 2 days or last night when I was making it, it was really hard to find upsets later in the rounds. Now, I feel like, for me, like when I like to pick brackets like this, I like to go for upsets that can make it far. And I do think there are teams to keep an eye on, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit at a time, right? I mean, here's how I look at this, right? I feel like this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you a little quick analysis after I reveal my bracket, okay? So it's going to work like this. I'm going to give you my live reaction to the bracket being revealed. Then I'm going to go into my bracket. And then I'm going to give you a quick analysis on what I thought of each region. Okay? And then what we'll do at the end is we'll do guarantees. It's going to be a little longer than it's been in the last time, because this is such a big event. Now, when we get to the later rounds and stuff, if the brackets are not perfect, I doubt anybody's bracket will be perfect by then, or my bracket even. Okay? But what we'll do is that we will go over kind of the headlines. I'm not going to go over every game. I'll be there for over an hour, maybe 2 hours breaking down that, which I don't want to do. I don't want to put you guys through that. So we'll just go over the headlines, okay? Maybe some thoughts I have. That's what we'll do there. But without further ado, let's get to my bracket reactions, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the South. All right, here we go. Feel the 68, baby. Let's do this, bro. All right. Number 1 overall seed, I think we all know who it's going to be, bro. I mean, if it's not Auburn, I mean, I wouldn't be that shocked, but I would almost bank it's going to be Auburn, bro. I really do think it's going to be them. So, let's see. Let's see how this goes, man. All right, here we go. Yeah, no shit. I mean, they're a fucking number 1 overall seed. What, 15, 16 quad 1 wins? Yeah. Yeah, 16 quad 1 wins. Yep. Yep, let's see who they play. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, enjoy the 15 minutes of fame, bro. They're going to get blown the fuck out, bro. Especially since Auburn just lost to Tennessee. Yeah, they're getting blown out, bro. Yeah, Auburn destroys them. Go. They only got an 8 seed? Louisville? I know the ACC was weak, but an 8 seed? Wow. I don't like that matchup for them. No. But let's see who they play. Let's see who they verse. No. Oh, damn. Shit. So, ACC runner-up, Big East runner-up matching up in the round of 64. And the winner plays Auburn. Ooh. All right, watch. That's a toss-up, dude. Who they play? They're not. I know they won the Big Ten, Michigan. I want to see who they verse. They're not that good. They're not that good, bro. No way. They're not that good. I know Dusty May's a good coach, but no way. No. No.
And they will face in Denver, UC
Oh!
San Diego, the
Okay. I got one upset of mine. There's one. I heard about this UC San Diego team, dude. They're not bad. Oh. Okay. All right. I got my first highlighted upset right there, bro. Michigan, UC San Diego. Watch out.
And it's Texas A&M. They got their first ever win over a number 1 in school history when they defeated Auburn earlier this year.
Okay, so they were projected a 3, so now they're a 4. Okay. Okay. Who just beat Auburn last year. Interesting.
That is a tough matchup. Texas A&M had a great year to get Yale in the tournament.
Okay.
As anybody in this tournament, so is Texas A&M.
All right, we go to the bottom half of the South
Okay.
now with games in Milwaukee on Friday. And it's Ole Miss in for the first time since 2019.
Chris Beard's team.
10 seniors, and they will be
How the fuck did North Carolina get in with one quad one win? What?
they are going to face North Carolina.
Well, if anyone wants to know what everyone's going to be talking about after the show, North Carolina.
Bro, no way. Bro, they're not that good. They had one quad one win. No. No way. No. Somebody got robbed, bro. Somebody got robbed, dude. No way. No way. Somebody got robbed, dude.
Playing on Friday, and it is Iowa State, a 17.
I thought they would have been a 4 seed, not a 3. I mean, they lost their first game in the Big 12 tournament.
They will face the Lipscomb Bison.
They'll beat them. They'll beat Lipscomb. They will.
Now to the 7-10 matchup
They will.
in Cleveland. We have Marquette.
Okay.
Shaka Smart
I think they're on fumes.
seed, and they will
I don't think.
face
I don't know.
Mexico Lobos.
Oh, here we go. 10 seed upset 7 right here.
Conference coach of the year.
Donovan did Cam Jones in that one, guys.
This is a toss-up, but I lean New Mexico right now.
Michigan State. Tom Izzo makes it 27.
Low key though, Izzo's got a nice path to the Elite Eight. Auburn lost 3 of 4. No team has ever won the NCAA tournament after losing 3 of its last 4 games. Okay, low key, hot take, bro. Ready? Michigan State comes out of this region. I'm not sold on Auburn. They don't look good lately. They'll get by their bracket, but bro, Izzo's got a shot to go to the Elite Eight. Iowa State's not looking that great either. They're not. So, yo, let's see. Here we go. Okay, Auburn beats Louisville or Creighton. No bias. Yup, UC San Diego.
Not only Michigan in the first round, I like Yale to pull up a
Yale A&M's a scary game. I don't know if I want to touch that, man. I don't know if I want to touch that. Auburn should come out of this top half of the South. So, Auburn, top half of the South, I think gets by. Because I believe they'll get by these teams, no problem. And then Michigan State gets by this region. Iowa State is not what I think they're good, but they're not looking good lately. So I have Auburn, Michigan State right now. And I would say, low-key, Michigan State's going to beat Auburn in the South. I'm not betting against Izzo, bro. I'm not betting against Tom Izzo. I'm not doing it. Bruce Pearl has one tendency, I know, and he underachieves at sometimes in a tournament when you surprisingly don't expect it. I got Michigan State beating Auburn. I do. I low-key think right now, I got to sit and think this out, but right now, I could see Michigan State beating Auburn. I could. I'm not betting against Izzo, dude. I'm not doing it. Yep. So, all right, South region. I mean, Auburn and Michigan State low-key got light paths to the Elite Eight, but winner of that game, oof, man, that's gonna be a good representative in the Final Four, bro. All right, so that's the South. We're gonna see what's next, man. Cannot wait, man. Time of the year to pick my ESPN 2025 Men's Basketball Tournament Challenge. Oh, I love doing these every year. Let's get it started off in the South region, where the number 1 overall seed, Auburn Tigers, are the headline of this region. And I think they get by whoever the 16th seed is. Wouldn't be surprising if an FDU Purdue happens again or UMBC beats Virginia. I would be surprised if it's that monumental of an upset. It's not going to happen, though. Louisville against Creighton. This is basically a home game for Louisville because this game is being played in Lexington. I think that Louisville is going to get by over Creighton. This is a really tough game, too, because Creighton was the runner-up in the Big East Championship. They did have a lead on St. John's. They just were unable to close it out, though. Louisville gave Duke a really good game without Cooper Flagg, but Duke obviously We know they're the second number one overall seed for a bunch of reasons. Give me Louisville to get by Creighton, set up a second-round matchup with Auburn. Here comes the upsets. The first one, 5-seed Michigan against 12-seeded UC San Diego. Give me the Tritons. I'm going with UC San Diego. This is a really good team, well-rounded on both sides of the ball. I like the Tritons to beat Michigan. Now, people are going to say, Michigan won the Big Ten. I know they won the Big Ten. Dusty May's a really good coach. I know. But I don't care. I do have this feeling that Michigan's won a lot of close games. I think the Tritons get by and pull off a 12-seed upset over a 5-seed. Give me UC San Diego. Plus, you bracket people, you know you got to have a 12-seed over a 5. At least one 12-seed is beating a 5. I don't know the stat, but you guys that are filling out brackets, make sure you pick at least one 12 over a 5. I've got more than this, but we got UC San Diego beating Michigan in my bracket. Texas A&M against Yale. Rob Dowster of the Field of 68, he said that he's got Yale beating Texas A&M. I don't see it though, man. I don't see Yale sneaking up on Texas A&M again. I just don't. I think that Texas A&M is able to get by Yale. Yale beat Auburn last year. It was a cool upset that killed me in a couple brackets because I had Auburn going far in a few of them. But that was last year. This is this year. We're going to be much better. So I've got Texas A&M beating Yale. It's going to be a physical style. I might lean the under in this matchup, but give me Texas A&M to beat Yale, and I think it's going to be UC San Diego against Texas A&M in the round of 32. Moving on to the bottom half of the South, Ole Miss plays the winner of San Diego State against North Carolina. It's a good game, man. I have North Carolina beating San Diego State. Now, I'm on the record. I didn't think North Carolina should have been in the tournament, but I do think North Carolina, they can beat San Diego State. I don't think San Diego State's been the team that they thought they've been this year. North Carolina, I think, can get by them. I do think they're going to lose to Ole Miss, however. I think Malik Dia, I think Ole Miss has some really underrated guards. I think they're going to be too much for Carolina. Give me Ole Miss to beat North Carolina. Iowa State, Lipscomb. Keyshawn Gilbert's out for the tournament, according to TJ Otzelberger from Sunday. I do think I almost said Ole Miss. I can't believe I said that. Iowa State gets by Lipscomb. And I do think that they're going to get by these first couple games without a problem up until the later round in the Sweet 16 particularly. You'll see why. Marquette against New Mexico. Another upset in the region. Give me the New Mexico Lobos, Richard Pitino's group over Shaka Smart's Marquette Golden Eagles. This is going to be a great point guard battle between Cam Jones and Donovan Dent. This is going to be theater, man. This is going to be great. Okay, I like New Mexico to beat Marquette. I think Marquette's been on fumes. I think that they just got by Xavier in the quarterfinals, and I do think that they lost to St. John's, and I think that's going to get to Marquette. I think they're just going to be gassed out. Give me New Mexico. Not happy that they didn't do well in the Mountain West tournament. Give me New Mexico to get by Marquette. Michigan State, Bryant. Bryant's going to give Michigan State a little trouble, people say. I think Tom Izzo's group still has enough to get by them. Give me Michigan State. Tom Izzo, I'm not betting against him. He's in that class of coaches I just refuse to bet against. Give me Michigan State to get by Bryant. Second round, let's go to Auburn against Louisville. I think Auburn's got too much for Louisville. I just feel like that between Janai Broome, co-player of the year, Baker Mazzara, the guards, Miles Kelly, Auburn's too much for Louisville. Okay, UC San Diego, Texas A&M. I do want to see UC San Diego pull off the Cinderella, but I'm going to be smart with this bracket. I'm going to take Texas A&M. I like Buzz Williams. I think he gets them by UC San Diego to set up an Auburn-Texas A&M Sweet 16 matchup. Ole Miss taking on Iowa State. This is going to be a sneaky good game, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a sneaky good game. Give me Iowa State to beat Ole Miss. I think Iowa State is going to have enough balanced scoring to help them get by Chris Beard's group. I like Iowa State to get by Ole Miss. I do think Chris Beard's team is going to make it a game. Michigan State taking on New Mexico. I can't do it, man. I can't have a Cinderella beat Izzo. I don't see it. I do think Michigan State is the better team. Michigan State goes on to the Sweet 16. To the Sweet 16, Auburn, Texas A&M. Now, important note before I pick this game, no team has ever lost 3 of their last 4 games that has gone on to win the national championship. That's what Auburn's facing right now as I'm recording this, okay? So, Texas A&M was the first of these teams to send Auburn down the skid. Now, Buzz Williams was the coach of Virginia Tech when they played a number 1 overall seed before, when they played Duke with Coach K, Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish. I do think, though, he's going to make this game close. I just don't think they have enough to outduel Auburn this time. Give me Auburn to get by Texas A&M. Close game. And I think it's going to be close. Give me Auburn to just get by Texas A&M. Michigan State against Iowa State. Give me Izzo. I don't like the way Iowa State looked going into this tournament. I don't. They lost to BYU twice. They didn't really look good. I know they lost to Houston. Good teams, okay? But something tells me Iowa State just does not look good right now. As that top 8 to 10 team in the country, I just don't see it. Give me Michigan State, Tom Izzo, to the Elite Eight, which sets up Auburn against Michigan State. And remember last time Tom Izzo beat a number 1 overall seed? 2019. I just referenced this team. 2019 Duke. And I think Tom Izzo's team is going to do a similar game plan to beat Auburn. I think that Tom Izzo's team, this is his best team since that last time he went to the Final Four. Give me Michigan State to beat Auburn, the number 1 overall seed, to win the South region. I am not betting against Tom Izzo. I think Auburn goes down. This is where they get beat. And I think that the Michigan State Spartans win the South region and move on to the Final Four. That's a good bracket. Okay? I mean, listen. Hey, I know people are like, well, you're going chalk. Bro, all the experts said they were going chalk anyway. But listen, hey, I just passed on some knowledge that I know, man. Okay, listen, if you guys have known how I've picked brackets over the years, actually, you guys don't know, so this is the first time. I usually like to take chances on a couple of upsets. It does get me out by the second weekend, so I'm trying to see if this bracket can make it the farthest I've ever gone, which was the 2019 bracket when it was, I remember Duke, Michigan State, and I remember it was Gonzaga, Texas Tech. I had both Duke and Gonzaga in the Final Four, and they both ended up losing on the same day, and I was crushed. And I actually had Gonzaga winning it all that year. Shocker, I'm a Zags fan, I know. But we'll get to the Midwest region, because I have a little fact I forgot to bring in when I did the actual recording that I'm going to share with you guys. But quick thoughts, right? I think Creighton-Louisville is a really tough matchup. I could see that going either way. I think Greg McDermott's got a really good team in Creighton, okay? Michigan, UC San Diego, I feel like Dusty May's team, I know Dusty May's a good coach. I know. But I just feel like Michigan isn't built for the tournament. I think they're due. I think they're due to make a regression game. And at 5-12, that always happens. It always does. I think we had it twice last tournament, right? So I look at that, right? And then, like I said, I just look at that bracket, okay? I feel like that, Iowa State, people think Lipscomb could maybe upset them in the first round. It wouldn't shock me if that happens, right? I just feel like for me, man, Marquette, New Mexico, I think Marquette's on fumes. Cam Jones, he's good, but then they just run out of fumes. I think North Carolina can upset Ole Miss potentially. Okay, people like Yale to beat Texas A&M, which I don't see them sneaking up on them again. I really don't. But I could see it happening, all right? But again, I just like Buzz Williams and Texas A&M. I think they're a good team. So that's kind of my thoughts on the South region. I do think, though, there are teams to watch, okay? Louisville, Creighton, okay? I think UC San Diego could make a potential Cinderella run. I do. I think when they play Auburn, it's going to be over if that's the case, right? I don't think Ole Miss or North Carolina or San Diego State make that type of run, and I'm just not betting New Mexico to get past Izzo. I don't know why people think that's a hard path. But again, that's other people's opinions, right? But that, to me, I feel like it's Auburn, Michigan State on collision course to the Elite Eight. Iowa State's got injury, banged up problems. I think A&M will give Auburn a game, but I don't think it's enough, though, right? I do think UC San Diego, Louisville, Creighton are the teams to keep an eye in the South region. Now, let's get to this one. I can almost bank it's got to be Duke, bro. It's got to be Duke, bro. So, yep. No surprise. No surprise. Basically home. That's what you get as a 1 seed, so no surprise. Okay. East region now.
We'll be watching the first format.
Yeah! Mount St. Mary's, you're going to get rocked if you get by American. You're going to get rocked. Yup, you're getting rocked, bro, by Duke.
In Raleigh features Mississippi State, led by Josh Hubbard and
They're an alright team. They're alright. I mean, they're alright.
there you go.
I'm not like,
They will face the 9th seed Baylor.
bro, here we go. Duke's got a path to the Sweet 16. Baylor's alright this year. Baylor's alright, but Duke gets by these teams.
Seattle, where Oregon is the 5
Oh, this is one of my sleepers, bro.
and Texas
Oh, I'm not betting against St. Almond in the tournament, bro.
Big Ten season.
Oh.
Liberty, you better crack 70 points against the Flames. The Conference USA
Scary matchup.
25-0 when you don't.
Ooh. Scary matchup, bro. Ooh.
Is Arizona
Who they got?
to the Big 12 title game?
I know they just went to. I know they went to the Big 12 championship game.
Way to go, Coach Tommy Lloyd.
I'm not. I don't know.
The 13 seed Akron Zips.
I don't know much about them.
A school record erasing an 18-point deficit in the MAC title game.
Oh wow.
The buzzer.
Didn't know.
Akron Zips are a team that knows how to win. That's a tough team to match up against in the tournament.
There you go. We go to the bottom.
Low key, I'm taking Dane Allman over Tommy Lloyd if that matchup happens. Oh no, bro! They're gonna really, dude. I like them. They were my dark horse in this region. Shit, all my sleepers are in this region. Fucking Oregon, now BYU, bro. Oh no.
Championship for the second time in 3 years. Led by Conference Player of the Year Max Schulder, who had
I just watched them today too.
in the clincher.
Stingy defense versus high-octane offense. The Rams.
Uh-oh, damn. Okay, that pick might be in trouble now.
That's a good point. Speaking of offense, the 3 seed here, Wisconsin, the highest scoring Wisconsin team since the 77
Okay.
season.
I mean,
Time to clap again. I know they just got
Okay.
Michigan in the Big Ten championship game.
All right.
Tanje, a star to watch this March, and they will face the 14 seed Montana Grizzlies. Big
okay, so
who come in having won 14.
if it's BYU Wisconsin, that's a dangerous second round matchup, bro. That might be an over.
A dangerous one. St. Mary's. The Gales won the West Coast Conference by 3 games. Their largest margin ever.
All right,
Scoring defense. Number
bro. Gonzaga has to be at least a 7, bro. We have to.
They will face the 10 seed out of the SEC. Mark Byington.
Okay. Fuck. They're really gonna win a game. Fuck. St. Mary's is actually gonna win a game, dude. Bro. They're gonna fucking win a game, dude.
The 2 seed in the East. The regionals will be in Newark. It's the
Oh, please. Please match up Alabama and St. Mary's. Because here's the thing. I know Bama's defense is inconsistent. They fucking blow the doors off St. Mary's, dude. I gotta hope Grant Nelson's back, bro, for that game. Bro. Oh. Okay. This is an interesting second half. BYU, Wisconsin, Alabama. Oh, if it's Wisconsin, Bama, or BYU. Okay, if it's BYU, Bama, over. Okay, let's see this again. Here we go. Okay, I got Duke, Oregon right now. I'm betting against Tommy Lloyd. Dana Altman will school Tommy Lloyd. I'm calling it right now. Duke gets a path. I think they get to the Elite Eight, dude. I mean, Oregon's good, but they're not going to beat Duke, bro. They're not going to. I mean, I like Dana Altman in the tournament. Duke gets by to the Elite Eight. No problem. Let's go. Let's see. Let me see the second half again. BYU, Wisconsin, Bama. This is the teams I'm watching in the second half of the East region. So I want to see. Let me see. Because, oh, if it's BYU, Alabama, that's an over. Okay? I might take BYU, but I can see Bama winning. If it's Wisconsin, Bama, oh, I mean, I see Alabama could win. But Wisconsin, bro, like, they just lost at Michigan today. So, like, it's definitely either Alabama, Wisconsin, or BYU. BYU is my sleeper in this region, low-key. Right now, call me crazy. I'm saying Wisconsin right now. BYU, Wisconsin, winner gets to the Elite Eight, I think. Alabama, I got to see if Grant Nelson's healthy. If Grant Nelson's healthy, I think Bama then has a shot. All right, but all right, East Region, second half of the bracket's interesting. Duke gets by the Elite Eight, no problem, bro. They'll be fine, dude. They'll be fine. So, all right, I'm going to go right now. I got to see Grant Nelson's injury status. Right now, I'm going to go Duke, Wisconsin in the Elite Eight, and I think Duke beats them. So, all right, halfway, bro. Here we go. I want to see where my Zags land up, bro. We better
Move on to the East region, where Duke is the number 1 seed in that region, number 2 overall. They could get by American Mount St. Mary's without a problem. They will take on either Mississippi State or Baylor. Ooh, this is another good 8-9 game, dude. Okay, so Mississippi State. Josh Hubbard is going to be a problem, I think, for Baylor. I'm very curious how they're going to handle him because he's kind of Mississippi State's big dynamo guy. Baylor, though, has some really good players. VJ Edgecombe, really good freshman. They got the 2 transfers, Jeremy Roach from Duke, Norchad Omier from Miami. I think that's going to be a really good matchup as far as stars on both sides. The question is, can Mississippi State make threes against not make threes. Can they defend the 3 against Baylor well? If Baylor's able to make shots, I think Baylor wins this game. Give me the Baylor Bears to beat Mississippi State. Okay. Oregon, Liberty in the 5-12 matchup. Now, Oregon was one of the hottest teams going in. They won 8 straight before the Big Ten quarterfinal loss to Michigan State. Liberty, though, they want to slow it down. They're very efficient shooting threes, and they're a team that is top 25 in three-point rate, top 5 in three-point shooting at 40%. So they've got a way that they can give Dana Altman's zone problems, but Oregon's top 50 in both offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. So I'm not betting against Dana Altman in March, and that's what's going to be the pick. Give me the Oregon Ducks to get by the Liberty Flames. So I'm going with Oregon. Arizona, Akron. Arizona's dominant on the offensive boards. They've got Caleb Love, who's a really good guard. Again, it just comes down to consistency with him. Akron, though, smallest team in the field, but they're another team that can go 9 deep, and they make 11 threes a game, which is top 10 in Division I. So Akron has a formula for an upset. I just can't see it, though, because I feel like, though, Arizona can get by them. I don't know about in the future rounds. Give me Arizona to defeat Akron. BYU, VCU. Oh, this is a tough matchup, dude, because BYU literally is like one of my Cinderella teams to go far, but VCU is a scary matchup. BYU, though, really hot from 3. They've been one of the hottest teams since, I want to say, late January when they had that crazy buzzer beater that kind of got their season catapulting in the right way. But VCU, defensive-heavy team, okay? They're a top team as far as top 30 in steal rate, block rate, 2% defense, and 3-point defense. So this team is very dangerous defensively. They're streaky from 3. If VCU can make threes and clamp BYU down, I could see VCU winning. But I'm going to roll with the team that I really, really like. Give me BYU to beat VCU. I don't feel good about this one, but I'm going to trust BYU gets by VCU. Wisconsin, Montana. I think Wisconsin gets by Montana. I could see Wisconsin winning that one. I'm not worried about them, this matchup. St. Mary's, Vanderbilt in the 7-10. This is another coin flip because, we took a 10 seed last region. Vanderbilt's a patient offense. St. Mary's wants to slow the game down. I'm going to go St. Mary's because I think Mikey Lewis, I think Marcelones, I think they have guys, Morauskas, they can make guys that I think could just get them by Vanderbilt. I know Vanderbilt's been in the SEC. Give me St. Mary's to get by Vanderbilt. I just trust them a little bit more. I think Randy Bennett's group gets to the second round. Alabama, Robert Morris. Even without Grant Nelson, give me Alabama. I'm not betting against Nate Oates' team. I think the Alabama can get by fine, and I think they move on to the second round. Duke Baylor, the Jeremy Roach game. Duke dominates them. I just don't see how Scott Drew's team is able to give Duke a run. I think Duke is just too many guys. Give me Duke. Oregon, Arizona. Riding the do not bet Dana Altman in March. Give me Oregon to beat Arizona. I just think Oregon has enough ways that can beat Tommy Lloyd's group. Plus Tommy Lloyd, the Arizona coach, is a tournament choker. Give me Oregon. Wisconsin, BYU. Another upset. Give me BYU to take down Wisconsin. I know Wisconsin could shoot 35% from the floor. They're a high free throw shooting team. John Tonje, one of the incredible players in this tournament. But Richie Saunders from BYU, he's the guy to watch for BYU. If they can outshoot Wisconsin, I think this is going to be a game that will be high scoring, but I trust BYU to get by Wisconsin. I think the toll of too many games between the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament, Wisconsin goes out early. BYU pulls off the upset to the Sweet 16. St. Mary's, Alabama. I'm very curious how St. Mary's defends Alabama because they're going to try to slow them down, but Alabama, fast pace, paint game or threes. That's what they want to do. But their defense is very inconsistent at times. But I trust Nate Oates to get his team to the Sweet 16. Even if Grant Nelson comes back, I like Alabama to get by St. Mary's. Sweet 16, Duke, Oregon. I love Dana Altman's team. I just don't know if they can get by Duke. I don't know if they can. Duke is just too much, man, for them. I think Duke, between Cooper Flagg, Malowach, and then Colin Knippel, I just think that it's too much, man. Duke's got so many weapons. Duke gets by Oregon. Alabama, BYU. Oh, my God. This is an over and a half, dude, if this ever happens, okay? Grant Nelson should be back for Alabama by then. Listen, man. I can't just end up taking 1-2 seeds. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it, bro. The only thing that BYU, I think, needs to do to really outdo Bama, they're going to have to outshoot Bama and have to shoot efficiently. Their size in the front court does worry me. Amorie, Grant Nelson. But I consider Grant Nelson more of a stretch four. Give me BYU to defeat Bama. We need an upset in the second round. BYU to the Elite Eight. Now, I don't think Duke... No, I shouldn't say that. I don't think BYU has a shot against Duke. Duke should coast through this region, okay? What I meant to say was I don't think Duke's going to struggle with BYU. I don't. I think Duke handles BYU easily. I think those guys, John Shire's group, I think they got the easiest draw in the entire tournament, man. I feel like, you know what? Duke's going to get by. They're going to win the East region convincingly. And I see them getting into the Final Four representing the East region.
Definitely the easiest region by far and away. Definitely the easiest region by far. I felt like Duke, the committee gave them such a favorable path. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be surprised if Duke's got severe odds to make the Final Four. They have the easiest path of everybody, right? I mean, Mississippi State, Baylor, I think that's a good 8-9 game, right? I could see that going anyway. Mississippi State is a tougher challenge for Duke, some people say. I mean, I just feel like Duke still handles whoever. That's why I feel like that A9, you really can't go wrong because you know they're not going to go far, right? Oregon, Liberty. I know people like Liberty to beat Oregon. I don't. I've learned my lesson. Don't bet against some coaches in March. Dana Altman's one of those guys. I'm not doing it. Arizona, Akron. I could see being an upset. I just have a feeling Arizona's going to win that first game. But I do think they're going to lose to Oregon in the second round. I just feel like Tommy Lloyd's a choker. And Caleb Love, he's a good guard. I just feel like there's games where he looks good and then there's games where he looks awful. So I feel like for me, Arizona, and I don't know how some people have them go to the Final Four. I don't know how. I don't see it. Tommy Lloyd, he's good. He's a good coach. He needs to win in March to do something. And I know what he is. He's a tournament choker, and I don't think he gets past day 2 of the weekend, or the second round, I should say. Okay, second half of this bracket in the East. I mean, listen, Alabama, listen. If there's any team I think that could beat Duke, it's Bama. I do. All right. I think Wisconsin, I know I said in the video, I thought, but that was, early thoughts, right? But then I thought to myself, I'm like, dang, they make some great points. Wisconsin played a lot of Big Ten tournament games, and they're playing a lot going into the NCAA tournament, right? They're going to probably be gassed. BYU got trounced by Houston. I don't think Wisconsin's the great defenses of the Bo Ryan days. That's when I first started watching March Madness, when they had Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker. Yes, it's been 10 years since I started watching March Madness. I was a sophomore in high school. That's when I first filled out my bracket. First time I even learned about ESPN Tournament Challenge, okay? That was a fun bracket too, by the way. But this is not about bracket stories. This is about this year's bracket. So, listen, in the East, Alabama, they're the one team I think that could give Duke problems. The only reason I'm a little worried about Alabama is I feel like their defense is inconsistent. Talent-wise, they can give Duke some issues, but can Clifford Mourier really clamp down Malowach and Flagg? I don't know if he can. I feel like he'd be in a lot of foul trouble. I don't know if Nate Oates has enough bigs to handle those two, right? Alabama's certainly Final Four potential, absolutely. I just don't know if they could do it with the analytics that they do. I know they're clipped, they could score, but Duke's a good defensive team, really good defensive team, an elite defensive team. And I'm saying to myself, defense does win, right? Alabama, I just don't see it. But Alabama is the closest threat to taking down Duke. So it depends on Grant Nelson's injury. So, again, that's me. So, again, I'm fine with people disagreeing with me on this bracket, okay? But that's my opinion. If the best team that would give Duke the biggest scare going into the Final Four. But I think Duke has the easiest path. All right. Now let's head into the Midwest region to see who I've got winning that region. This has got to be either Houston or Florida. I'm going to say Houston. So, all right, let's see, bro. Let's see.
AT&T. We're now in the Midwest region in the lower right quadrant. Houston Cougars, third overall, number one seed for the third straight season.
Took care of all business. Regular season champ, conference tournament champ.
All right, let's see, bro.
They're healthy this year going into the tournament. If they stay healthy, they can win it all.
Second in scoring defense nationally. And let's say, welcome to the NCAA tournament, SIUE.
They blow the doors off this team. They blow the doors off this team, bro. No! How did we get an 8 seed? We just beat St. Mary's. Oh, no. No. I don't like this matchup if we get by whoever the 9 seed is.
And in that 8-9 game, they will face a Georgia Bulldogs squad that took down Florida, Kentucky, and St. John's as they go for their first tournament win since 2002.
Oh, I don't like this.
To
No.
Providence on Thursday, the 5 seed.
Bro.
Clemson. The Tigers set a school record.
This is my sleeper, man. Another one, bro.
Road record for the first time
No,
since
dude.
1977.
This is a sneaky good team, bro.
ACC team to beat Duke this year. The 12 seed is
Oh.
Will Wade.
Okay, watch. 5-12. This is sneaky. I know Will Wade and them got blown out last year. This is a sneaky 5-12 matchup, bro. Oh. Okay.
Here's national runner-up in the dance.
Bro, they got rocked by Michigan. They got rocked by Michigan, bro.
And in Providence, they will face High Point, who's having a new high point for their program. Wow, look at that reaction. And show it out. Their first tournament appearance, overcoming a 15-point deficit in the second half of the Big South.
High-octane group there, so the Panthers can put it in the basket.
I don't feel as confident of that being an upset.
Bottom half of the Midwest.
Let's see.
They're playing to get to the regionals in Indy, and it's Illinois as the
Streaky team. Streaky team. I need to see who they play.
Despite injury and illness, forcing Brad Underwood to use 7 different
Oh,
starting
shit, I didn't know that.
since January
No
8th.
wonder what they wrote
And
that.
they will be watching this matchup. Texas against Xavier in the first 4.
So Xavier was 1-9 in quadrant 1, which means that Xavier...
Texas deserves to be in. Xavier, I mean, I thought if they beat Marquette, they should have been in. I thought they were going to make a run at the Big East Championship, but...
had 7 quadrant
Okay, that's a sneaky 11 seed that might give Illinois a scare.
time win over Texas A&M.
So,
League tournament put him in.
interesting. That's an interesting play-in winner, and they'll give Illinois a sweat. Watch. They will.
Pretty wild right there. Number 3 seed here is Kentucky. If you want
Bro,
SEC, that's the ninth
really?
seed revealed
Really?
in the conference without a single player back.
Bro.
Last year, Mark Boat, captain of that 96
No,
team,
bro.
has
Fuck
them
outta
as the
here.
3 seed, and they will face the Troy Trojans.
They get a fucking cupcake, bro. They're going to get a cupcake path to the Sweet 16, Kentucky, bro. Jackson Robinson's out for the year. Lamont Butler's banged up.
In Lexington.
Bro, they're not... Because they beat us, right? That's why they're a 7 seed. They just lost their first game in a tournament, bro. Of the Big Ten tournament. Okay, here we go. Another 10 seed I like. Yup. This is a heavy under game, dude. Heavy under, I'm going. Bro, the Vols, if they don't get to the Elite Eight, bro, that's gonna be a huge upset. The Vols, bro, the Vols have to make the Elite Eight, bro. Look at their path. UCLA, Utah State, bro. Okay, Kentucky's the toughest team there, but bro, They beat Kentucky. They do. Bro, Tennessee, if they don't make the Elite Eight, something's wrong with them. The top half, that's going to be interesting, bro. But Tennessee should get to the Elite Eight, no problem. Here we go. I don't like this matchup for the Zags if they get by Georgia. I don't.
Look at the first two brackets. Gonzaga, first of all,
I don't like this.
as an 8 seed is a really tough matchup, right? But the second round game, imagine Houston as a 1 seed would get Gonzaga in their next game, those 1-8 games.
Or Georgia. I mean, Georgia has been impressive as well. Yeah.
All right, everybody, I got my slingshot out. Ready?
Clemson, I think, gets by Purdue or High Point. But again, McNeese is a scary team. Houston Gonzaga scares me. If I'm a Zags fan. But Georgia's playing pretty good in the SEC too. And then Tennessee should dominate this half of the Midwest. They should. Bro, UCLA sucks. Utah State they should beat. Kentucky's their toughest team. But like, dude, they should beat them. Kentucky's banged up. Illinois can be hot in this region, but Texas Xavier, dude, they're going to give them a scare in this region. Bro, I don't like this matchup, dude. Oh, they really gave us a fucking 8 seed. No, dude. I don't like this. I don't like this, bro. I don't. No. Oh, man. Wait. Yo. Oh, I need to see this last region. This is a gauntlet. Dude, there's some big names left. Yo, Florida, low-key, might have a gauntlet region. Man, we got to see, bro. We got to see this.
All right, time to go into the Midwest region where this could be the region of upsets. So we got a lot of intriguing matchups in this region, but Houston over SIU Edwardsville, this is not an upset. Give me Houston easily. I think they get by SIU Edwardsville. No problem. Go to the second round. 8-9 matchup between Gonzaga and Georgia. Ooh, okay. Little worried about this matchup for the Zags. I'm a Zags fan. All right. Georgia, Asa Newell was a recruit Gonzaga was battling for. Ended up going to Georgia. 6'11 center, 15 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game. This guy's going to be a problem for us, I think. Okay. Silas DeMary is a guy to keep an eye on for Georgia, too. Averages 13.4 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. Georgia's really good with their size, top 20 in offensive rebounding, top 30 in free throw rate. So that's going to help. And they're inexperienced, and they turn over at an alarming rate. Gonzaga, building off a high. They won the West Coast Conference tournament. They're a highly efficient offense. I think Gonzaga, with their tournament experience, give me Mark Few's team. Gonzaga moves on to the second round. 5-12 matchup, Clemson against McNeese State. Okay, now McNeese State was a lot of people's popular pick last year to pull an upset. Clemson, though, is coming off an Elite Eight run last year. This is one of the hottest teams going in. They've won 15 of their 17 games, lost a tough one to Louisville in the ACC semifinal. I like Clemson. I think they have too much for McNeese State to handle. I really like Brad Brownwell's team, okay? Ian Shefflin, okay? Jaden Zachary and Chase Hunter in the backcourt. I think this Clemson team is really good. They give up about 66 points per game. 7.5 steals the average per game. Clemson is dangerous. I really like this team. Give me the Clemson Tigers to get by McNeese State. Purdue and High Point in the 4-13 matchup. Okay. Purdue's coming off a long tournament run that they had last year. Okay. They also just got smoked by Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. And I'm looking at Purdue and I'm thinking, they're all right. Braden Smith has been a really good point guard, yes. Trey Kaufman, he's took a big leap, 20 points per game. I get that. This High Point team, though, watch out. Okay, they are a good shooting team. They're experienced and they have a deep bench. I'm going to take High Point to upset Purdue. Another upset. Give me High Point to take down Purdue, and I think High Point gets to the second round. Illinois taking on either Texas or Xavier. All right, so in this matchup, let's go with the first four in first. Give me Xavier to get by Texas. I think Xavier can get by Texas. I just think Texas, they may have the best player on the floor in this game, but I think Xavier's been a hot team. They will get by Texas. I believe that they're going to get by. I really like Sean Miller's group. I think they can get one win, get that 11 seed, but to beat Illinois. Now, Illinois, this is a team that shoots a lot of their shots from three, 47% of their shots from three. When they are cold, they dominate the offensive glass. The thing that they're in trouble with is they don't have a lot of experience and they don't force turnovers. And yes, they do have 5 players that average double digits, which helps them a little bit in a way. But they're inexperienced and they don't create turnovers. Xavier, I think, would get by Illinois. But I'm going to say for this matchup, give me the winner of Texas Xavier to get by Illinois. I'm a little worried with Illinois. They've been dealing with some injuries. They've had a lot of lineup combinations. I do think Illinois is the team that is interesting. I would say if it's Illinois-Texas, I can see Illinois beating Texas. I think Xavier would give them a little bit of fits. Give me Xavier to get through. I'm going to say the winner of this 11 seed matchup goes to the second round. Kentucky-Troy. I know Kentucky's dealing with injury. They lost Jackson Robinson for the season. Lamont Butler had a shoulder injury. I'm going to take Kentucky to get by Troy. I think they'll get by without a problem. 7-10, UCLA, Utah State. Give me the 10 seed again. I'm going to take Utah State to get by the UCLA Bruins. Utah State's got a very good defense. Their zone is a little bit different than most people, right? I think their zone's going to give UCLA problems. I think Utah State can shoot the ball pretty good against UCLA. I like this group a little bit better. Give me Utah State to get by UCLA. I don't like the way UCLA's looked in this going into this tournament either. They didn't look good against Wisconsin, and I feel like that, you know what? This is a game. Utah State pulls off an upset. Give me Utah State to beat UCLA. Tennessee, Wofford. I'm not really worried about Tennessee getting by Wofford. Give me the Tennessee Volunteers to get by and go to the second round. Houston, Gonzaga. Oh, man, this is the matchup I dread. Okay, I'm trying to see a matchup where Gonzaga does get by Houston. I'm just trying to see this game over and over. I don't know how they're going to do it. Now, Gonzaga's got guys that are above 6'8". Now, why is that important? Houston's tallest player that plays significant minutes is 6'8", okay? But this team is small and athletic to where they're fighting for rebounds. It's a physical defensive team. But Gonzaga's got guys with size. Michael Ajayi, Ben Gregg, Graham Ike, Braden Huff. They're going to have to be a big role and fight for rebounds, but it's not going to be easy with Houston. But at the same time, can they score enough on a good, really good Houston defense? I must say no. Gonzaga's Sweet 16 streak ends at 9, and they don't go to the 10th straight year. I hope I'm dead wrong about this. I'm a Zags fan. Give me Houston, though. Clemson against High Point. I think Clemson's got too much for High Point, and I feel like that High Point's going to be very interesting with them, but I think Clemson is by far the better team. Give me Clemson. Xavier, Texas / against Kentucky. I think Kentucky gets by this winner. I think Kentucky's got too much offensive firepower. Sean Miller, if it's Xavier, he always chokes in the tournament too. Give me Kentucky. Mark Pope gets Kentucky to the Sweet 16. Tennessee, Utah State. I think Utah State runs into a wall with Tennessee. I think Tennessee's team, between the front court and the back court, I think Tennessee beats Utah State. Sweet 16, Houston against Clemson. This is going to be a sneaky good matchup, man, okay? Ian Shefflin, okay? Jaden Zachary, Chase Hunter. This can be good against Milos Uzan, LJ Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp. That's going to be a great star power game. But I like Houston to get by Clemson to go to the Elite Eight. Now it's Kentucky, Tennessee. Kentucky won both meetings with Tennessee this year. Rick Barnes is also known as a tournament choker for Tennessee. However, Jackson Robinson's out for the season for Kentucky, and Lamont Butler's banged up. This is where I think Kentucky loses to Tennessee. Rick Barnes takes his best team with a shot at the Final Four to the Elite Eight to play Houston. Now, this is going to be a tough game. I think that Zakai Ziegler, Chaz Lanier, Tennessee's front court of Igor Milicic Jr., Felix Okparo, they're going to have guys that could challenge Houston, but I like Kelvin Sampson's team to get to the Final Four. Another 1 seed represents the Midwest region, and I got the Houston Cougars taking down the Tennessee Volunteers as the second 1 seed to go into the Final Four, and the Houston Cougars, Kelvin Sampson's team, wins the Midwest region.
Brutal draw for the Zags. Brutal draw. And you guys saw by my reaction, I did not like that draw. One note I did not mention when I filled out the bracket that I wanted to say was, when I was picking Gonzaga, the one big negative that I was like, you know what? I can't do it this time. Mark Few, I love this guy. Want him to win a championship so bad. He's a coach I actually root for to win a championship, okay? That's why I love the guy so much, because he's a great coach. Like, when I first watched March Madness, I remember Jay Wright being talked about as a really, really good coach that finally broke through and won, right? Mark Few right now is where Jay Wright is right now. 2 national title games, 2 Final Four games. Okay, he just needs to get that championship, right? You could say that about a couple other guys, Kelvin Sampson, Bruce Pearl, right? But Mark Few is like really, really close, okay? And I root for Mark Few, okay? He's a guy that I genuinely want him to win a national championship, okay? Like people wanted Jay Wright to win a championship, okay? But here's the nugget. Mark Few, all-time against number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament, is 0-11. And it's looking like 0-12 because I am trying to figure out any scenario how in the world people are picking Gonzaga to beat Houston. Maybe I don't know something. Maybe I'm underestimating my own team. But I've watched us play St. Mary's, and the only hope I can say for me as a Zags fan is we just played a kind of a similar style game in the West Coast Conference Championship game to beat St. Mary's. But I think Houston is way better than St. Mary's on defense, and they're more athletic. Yes, we got size, but can Ajayi, Greg, Ike, Braden Huff get out of foul trouble? That's the key. Okay, Nembhard, he's basically been a terrific point guard. Okay, he makes really good decisions. Sometimes I think he pushes it a little too fast, but I'm trying to be like Doctor Strange in Infinity War. Okay, if you haven't watched Infinity War, get out of that rock and actually like watch it because you have to understand what I'm saying here. I'm trying to be like Doctor Strange in Infinity War, where I'm trying to play the several different times I see this game playing out in my head, and I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell do we beat Houston? If you're a Zags fan, I don't know how you do it. I don't know. Listen, I want the Zags to keep their Sweet 16 streak alive. I do. I root for this man to win a national championship. Okay, I want to pick upsets. They're the 1-8 seed. I'm like, shit, it's right there. Take the upset. But my mind's telling me, Rich, don't do it because then you're gonna be out of this bracket before the second weekend. And I'm trying to do something that I don't normally do, which is try to pick. And I don't like picking chalk, man. I want to take Gonzaga as an 8 seed. I want to take them to go to the Final Four. I can't do it, though. I can't because I've also seen my team lose a lot of close games this year, and I feel like that's going to bite them in the back of the ass, which I don't want. And I think it's just going to happen, man. So, like, again, when I combine the record Few he has against 1 seeds all-time in the NCAA tournament, that's got to play a factor. They've not been good in close games. I think St. Mary's was the one close game in the West Coast Conference tournament that they did pay well with. And that could be a boost. But Georgia's no easy gimme in the first round either. Georgia's not a gimme. And I feel like that line scares me. We'll get to guarantees in a moment. But, yeah, I mean, listen, I really hope Gonzaga wins. I want to start saying, Gonzaga, Gonzaga. I want to say it on this show. But this might be the only time I get to say it because I just don't see us getting by Houston. I don't. But maybe there's something I'm missing that Vegas knows, that some other people know that say, hey, Gonzaga has a chance to beat Houston. I just don't see it, man, okay? I thought we would. There's been years past where I've said, oh, we could definitely beat this team. Sometimes we've lost, sometimes we've actually won. This is one of those times where I'm like, I just can't see us beating this team. I just can't see it. It's the opposite, right? So, yeah, let's get to the West region. I'll give you my thoughts on that bracket. Okay, let's get to the West region before I give you my quick analysis on that region, and then we've got the guarantees. All right, there's no question now this is Florida. There's no question now this has to be Florida. So, here we go. Florida got the West region. Yeah, I watched them this weekend. They're scary. They look really good. Come on, bro. Come on. They blow Norfolk State out. Go.
In Raleigh, the two-time defending national champs, UConn, leading the country in blocks per game, and they will face Oklahoma, who went 13-0 in non-conference play.
Florida should blow the doors off UConn, but that might be an over, low-key. Florida smokes UConn. Look, I hope fucking Florida destroys UConn. I want to see Dan Hurley's face then, bro. Ooh, okay. I know they won their conference today, but another 5-12 I like, bro. You got to watch these 5-12 matchups.
The country's going to get to see him. they're going to see him against Memphis because that's a team that can really play too. And I hope they get Tyrese Hunter back. Also,
Colorado State, I'm leaning right now.
The Crab Five, the highest scoring.
Oh, bro.
Maryland is in, and keep an eye.
I like this little Maryland team. They didn't play bad. They got beat off one lucky shot from Michigan, bro.
From the Terps.
I like them. They're my... Ooh.
Grand Canyon.
Bryce Drew's team.
Antelopes are in high gear under tournament legend Bryce Drew, third straight tournament.
All right, I got Florida and Maryland right now.
Bottom half of the West region for
Memphis scares me right now with the
The
injuries.
sixth seed is Missouri, a bounce-back season from Dennis Gates. They were 0-18 in the SEC
Okay.
last year.
Okay.
10
Missouri's...
this time around.
Okay.
And top 10 scoring
Who they got?
offense.
How about the contrast in styles here?
Are you ready? The 11th seed is Drake, a program.
Oh, damn, okay.
Third straight.
Oh, do I have the guts to take Drake over Missouri? Oh, this is one upset I'm leaning. Oh, okay. Okay.
The 3 seed in Wichita is Texas Tech, the highest.
They blow the doors off my... Oh, man. Drake could have been a Cinderella, but... Yeah, they're going to get rocked by Texas Tech, dude.
Conference wins.
Oh, man.
They will face UNCW CAA champs
Yeah, okay.
for the 7th time, more than anybody else.
Never gets old seeing these teams react.
Way to go, Seahawks.
Great crowd.
The 7-10 matchup Thursday in
Yo, Arkansas hasn't been revealed yet.
Kansas. The streak continues.
No way, bro. Are they going to put what I think, bro?
John
Yo! Bill Self against Calipari in round 1? Oh! And wait, St. John's didn't get revealed yet. Bro! Oh my god, this bracket might be a gauntlet in the bottom half. Oh, bro. Yo, this might be a gauntlet in the bottom half. Oh, bro. St. John's beats the winner of Kansas, Arkansas. That I'm confident. Bro, if we get a Texas Tech St. John's Sweet 16 matchup. Oh. Oh, they're going to play Omaha, dude. Bro. I heard about this garbage can thing, bro. Yo, so, okay, hold on. So, Indiana's out, no surprise. Boise's out, no surprise. Ohio State's out, no surprise. West Virginia's out? Bro. I hope Florida blows out UConn. I fucking can't stand Dan Hurley. Memphis, Maryland, that's an interesting round of 32 matchup. I got Maryland in that, bro, right now. Florida, Maryland. Oh, I like Maryland, but, dude, they're getting rocked by Florida. I'm sorry. Bro. So, I got Florida, Maryland right now, Sweet 16. I got Florida getting by Maryland right now. In my opinion, right now, first glance. Again, I got to sit and think about this, bro. I got to get my notes and stuff. But right now, I got Florida, Maryland being a casual right now. So, I got Texas Tech, St. John's. Oh, bro, that's a toss-up. I don't like betting against Patino, dude, but does St. John's have enough firepower to match with Florida? Can they slow down Florida? Texas Tech, I think, would be a good matchup. That's a tough matchup, dude. I don't know if I could pick Texas Tech to beat St. John's because, again, Grant McCaslin against Todd Golden, that's a good matchup. I think it's more fireworks matchup. St. John's, though, do they have enough defensively to slow down Florida? That's an interesting matchup if that Elite Eight matchup does happen. So, I'm going to say, ooh, that's a tough region. I want St. John's to come out of this region, but I do think Florida would get in there. So, okay. Yeah, so let's see, bro. All right, wow, bro. So somebody got majorly snubbed, dude. All right, yo, I want to see who Seth Davis and Clark Kellogg pick. I want to see because, bro, low-key, man, I got to sit and think about this research, dude. I got to see, bro, but North Carolina should not be in the tournament. But anyway, that's my reaction to watching the tournament, bro. Time to get to my analysis, guys.
On to the final region, the West region, or as John Fanta has called it on the field of 68, the region of death, jokingly. All right, so right here, Florida is the last number 1 overall seed, And I think there's no question they get by Norfolk State, no problem, so give me the Gators. 8-9 matchup between UConn and Oklahoma. This is going to be another one where I think it's going to be a good 8-9 game, but I just have this feeling that the Huskies, I can't bet against Dan Hurley. I tried to do it the first time. I lost. Last year, I thought maybe somebody like Bama could beat them. They had a tough path last year, still got through and dominated the group, but I think they're good enough to get by Oklahoma. I mean, UConn is one of the most effective offenses right now, and Soto Ball, Liam McNeely, Hassan Diarra, Samson Johnson, they got a good offense. The only thing that would worry me with them is their foul trouble and three-point defense, which has taken a step back. Oklahoma, they're top 30 at getting to the free throw line, shooting 79% of them, right? They just have a hard time with the ability to defend the paint. And I think if UConn's bigs can dominate this game, they're going to be fine. Watch out for Jeremiah Fierce. He's averaged 28 points per game over the last 4 games. Give me the UConn Huskies to beat the Oklahoma Sooners. The 5-12 matchup, Memphis versus Colorado State. Injury to keep an eye on for this game. Tyrese Hunter for Memphis. He's going to be a guy that I'm wondering if he's going to play, because if he does not play, there could be an upset at stake here. Okay, that's an injury to monitor going into this game. I feel like this game's going to be a lot closer than people think. This is a great upset pick too. Memphis, their fast-paced offense. PJ Haggerty's top 5 scorer nationally, averaging more than 22 points per game. The only thing for them that I worry about is just the fact that they've been in a lot of close games. Colorado State, top 50 in offensive and defensive efficiency. They're on a 10-game winning streak. Nick Clifford, watch out for him. This guy averaged 20 and 10 during the tournament stretch of the Mountain West. And I think Colorado State, the hot team right now, give me the Rams of Colorado State to beat the Memphis Tigers. Colorado State to the second round. Number 4, Maryland taking on Grand Canyon. Okay, Grand Canyon has Scott Drew's son, I think, Bryce Drew, or brother, I'm probably mixing it up, against the Maryland Terrapins. And I really think that this is a sneaky good 13-4 matchup. Maryland, Derek Queen, Jacoby Gillespie, strong defense. They can push the tempo in transition, high block rate, great at rebounding. They run in transition, shooting threes. They're really good. They just have a tendency to settle for too many twos, and their bench is a little bit questionable, but I think it's going to help them get by Grand Canyon. Give me the number 4 Maryland Terrapins to the second round. Second half of the West region, number 6 Missouri Tigers taking on the Drake. And I like the upset in this region. I don't think Missouri looked all that impressive lately. I think Missouri's in a bit of a tough spot. I know Missouri can shoot the ball really well. But Drake, strong defense. They can force turnovers. Okay. Bennett Sturts, this guy averages 19 points a game, 5.7 assists per game, 2.2 steals per game. Ben McCollum's arguably in the conversation for National Coach of the Year. I like the Drake to beat Missouri. Give me the Drake. The 7-10 matchup. Oh, actually, I skipped one. Number 3, Texas Tech against UNC Wilmington, the 14th seed. I like the Red Raiders. Give me Texas Tech to beat them. I just feel like this team is too good on both ends of the court. Give me Texas Tech. The 7-10 matchup. Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks taking on the 10th seed Arkansas Razorbacks and John Calipari. This is a good matchup, okay? Kansas trending in the wrong direction, right? They're really good They're really good defending. They're very good at taking quality shots inside the arc. They just struggle with forcing turnovers and, getting to the line. Arkansas, big injury update. Boogie Fland is coming back for Arkansas. That's a huge boost for them. One of their top scorers from early in the year. They have a balanced offensive attack. They defend the 3 well. Foul trouble can be an issue for Calipari. This is tough because I've leaned more of the 10 seeds in this matchup. I don't like betting against really Bill Self much, but I don't like how the Jayhawks have looked. Give me the Arkansas Razorbacks to move on to the second round. St. John's Red Storm taking on Omaha. Now, the only thing I know about Omaha is they were known for the trash cans. So I got to go with St. John's, the Red Storm. Patino, he's got a juggernaut of a defense. I just find it hard to believe that Omaha is going to have a chance. Give me St. John's. Second round, Florida taking on UConn. Nothing would please me more than to see Dan Hurley get absolutely blown the fuck out by Florida And I really hope Todd Golden's team does it because I can't stand the antics anymore. I think a game like this, Hurley needs to be humbled. I think UConn can score with them. I don't think they can hang with them throughout a full 40. Give me the Gators to go to the Sweet 16. UConn, back-to-back, the three-peat, it's over. Memphis. Oh, wait, no, not Memphis. Colorado State, Maryland. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Colorado State taking on Maryland. I like Maryland. I think Maryland has a really good balanced attack of, getting fast pace. Okay. I do think that they are a good team. I like Derek Queen and Maryland to get by Colorado State, matchup with Florida in the Sweet 16. Texas Tech taking on the Drake. A lot of people like Drake can go far, maybe the Sweet 16. I almost went that route, but I got to go with the Red Raiders. Grant McCaslin's group, really good on both ends of the floor. I think this team, JT Toppin, 18-9 per game. Great. I mean, this team could shoot threes. They can crash the offensive boards. I feel like that's going to be too much for Drake to overcome. Give me Texas Tech to get by the Drake. Arkansas, St. John's, Calipari and Rick Pitino. They don't like each other usually. This should be an interesting matchup. I just think St. John's is going to overwhelm Arkansas's team. I think Arkansas is going to have a hard time scoring with them. St. John's to the Sweet 16 to take on Texas Tech. Give me the Red Storm. Sweet 16, Florida and Maryland. This is going to be an interesting one. I just think at the end of the day, the Gators have too much depth. They're 3 deep, 4 deep at guards, 3 deep in the front court. They have a 7'9" dude, too, that plays. Too much for Maryland. Give me the Gators to go to the Elite Eight. Texas Tech and St. John's. Oh, this is tough because I like both teams and they're in the gauntlet region. This is a toss-up. I really root for Rick Pitino's team. I do. But something's telling me the more I think about this, Texas Tech has a good enough chance to beat them. JT Toppin against Kadari Richmond, RJ Lewis Jr. This is going to be a tough game for them, man. I just think Texas Tech can get by St. John's, and I think Texas Tech is going to outdo St. John's in the Sweet 16 to take on Florida. Florida, Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. Todd Golden's team, Walter Clayton Jr., okay, Elijah Martin, Alex Condon. I mean, they're one of the most complete teams. They're the hottest team right now over the last 2 months. I've watched them closely recently. I'm too impressed with this group. I mean, give me the Gators to beat the Red Raiders. I just think Todd Golden's team is too good from top to bottom, and I've got them going as my last Final Four team, the third 1 seed to take on Michigan State in the Final Four. The Florida Gators will win the West region. It's time for my Final Four national championship game and my winner. It is time to do it. Let's see how this all unfolds. So I've got Michigan State taking on the Florida Gators. As much as I love Tom Izzo's team, dude, I love Izzo's team. I do. Right? Great coach. I don't think he has enough guys to handle the depth and the balance and just the up and down tempo of Florida. I think he'll do it for a little bit, and then Florida's just going to impose what they do really well. I got Todd Golden's group doing it. I just feel like Florida is too deep. 3-4 guards. Their front line is deep. Okay? Between those guys I mentioned earlier, Walter Clayton, Elijah Martin, Alex Condon. They're just deep, man. Florida Gators to the national championship, where they're going to take on either Duke or Houston. Now, for those that remember, this was the game last year. They met in the Sweet 16, these two teams. Jamal Shed got hurt, and Duke ended up coming back to beat Houston. Now, here's the thing that worries me for Houston, okay? I said Houston's lack of size, it's not going to catch up to them, up until they play Duke. This is where I think their lack of size might hurt them in a way. Cooper Flagg, Kaman Malawach, Con Knipple, I feel like those guys are just going to be too much. Tyrese Proctor could be the X factor. There's another guy, too, from Duke. I forgot his name, but those guys, to me, are going to be such problems for Houston. But really, I think Flagg, Malawach, Knipple, they're going to be too much for Houston at the end of the day. Give me the Duke Blue Devils to play the Florida Gators in the national championship. Oh, man. Okay. I've watched these two teams recently, so this might be a case of recency bias. I don't give a fuck if you call me a casual. I'm calling it like I see it, dude. Okay? Listen, Florida's hot right now. Duke, best player in the country in Cooper Flagg right now. But at the end of the day, I think to me, when I'm looking at the best teams that win, they're deep. And to me, they have multiple options that could step up. And I look at the multiple options. You look back at the UConn teams. You look back at Baylor, right, with their multiple key players. You look at all those teams, Villanova teams, right? Even with Coach K's group, right? Both these teams have that. But I think there's one team that's just a little bit better in this matchup. And the difference is, give me the Gators. I think Walter Clayton Jr. will win the most outstanding player for the Final Four, and the Florida Gators, for the first time since they went back-to-back with Billy Donovan in 07-08, will become the national champions of the 2024-2025 college basketball.
That is my bracket. Now, people are going to be like, Rich, that's a chalk Final Four. I know. I don't do this a lot, but, hey, man, listen, I got to try something that I usually don't do a lot. Believe me, I'm not happy about it, but I'm trying to think of scenarios where I'm like, who could be an upset, okay? Now, some quick thoughts on the West region, because I think that's a really interesting region, okay? I think teams to keep an eye on for are Colorado State, okay? I think that this is an interesting one, right? Again, I look at the Drake. They could be a surprise team. I'm rooting for St. John's in this region badly. I like Rick Pitino. I think that man is one of the best college basketball coaches I've seen. I remember when Louisville won before they took it away with all the sanctions and stuff like that on Louisville, right? So I know Rick Pitino is a great coach. I root for St. John's to win. However, I think Florida's just better. And I think Texas Tech is really good also. So it's like, I don't want to just have 1 and 2 seeds every freaking Elite Eight I have, and it's boring. I need some excitement. Don't worry. I mean, if those guys that fill out multiple brackets, you know what I like to do, okay? Have a little fun with some of them, right? But at the same time, like if you're just traditionally doing one bracket, hey, man, I mean, you choose to be smart. But I also think, too, when I sit back and I hear this now, right, somebody of the top seeds is due to lose. The problem with March Madness is you just don't know who it's going to be, right? People say Michigan State. People say St. John's. And they're already saying these 15 seeds have a chance. But, like, those small percentages are mostly those small colleges, fans, right? Stuff like that. I don't see it, man. But, again, that's why March Madness is March Madness. It's so hard to predict, okay? It is so hard. But, like I said, I do think one of these 1 seeds will go out early. I do think we're going to have some upsets this year. I'm going to make other brackets have fun. But this one, I'm going to do strictly just this one for the Loungetime community. This one is for, us. So, let's get to the GUA-RAN-TEEs. I cannot wait. So, we're going to start with the first 4 in-games. Now, I've got 1 for each game. We got 2 tonight and then 2 tomorrow. And then we go into the round of 64. So, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to give you the ones I like tonight. All right? So, again, since I don't know about these small schools, this is just something based on what I thought looked interesting. St. Francis, PA. Give me the 3.5 with them over Alabama State. I like to root for the little underdogs. Why not have a little fun, right? Over 142.5, North Carolina, San Diego State. I think this number, they're going to get both into, I think it's going to get over this into the high 60s and the early 70s. Give me North Carolina, San Diego State, the over 142.5. Now, the other 2, right? Mount St. Mary's, taking out American. I know the Mount St. Mary's because I cover the MAC for the women's basketball team I covered the last 2 years. But this is men's basketball, but I've seen Mount St. Mary's. They're a pretty good team. All right, Americans, also a good team. They're favored. But because I've been in the MAC, right, last 2 years, give me the MAC plus 2.5 Mount St. Mary's. I'm going to take them just for fun. And then Xavier in Texas. I like Xavier to beat Texas. I don't like the total because I don't know if Texas and them can score a lot, right? I know that Texas is a really good young freshman, best player on the floor, right? But I like Xavier to win. Give me the money line for Xavier, and that's my first 4 in bets, okay? So, St. Francis, PA, plus 3.5. Over 142.5, North Carolina, San Diego State. Mount St. Mary's, plus 2.5. Xavier money line. Those are the 4 I like for the first 4 in games between tonight and tomorrow. To the round of 64 we go. We're going to have some fun, okay? We've got spreads. We've got money lines. We've got 1 under. We have some overs. So we're going to have some fun here, all right? On Thursday, we're going to start. High Point, give me the 7.5. I like High Point to win against Purdue. I think Purdue is not that good. 7.5 is a lot. Give me High Point to beat Purdue. All right? VCU, BYU. Total's low. I'm a little fringe about this number, but I got to have confidence in the team that I've liked to kind of back lately. I'm going to go over 146.5 VCU, BYU. I think both of these teams are going to score, man. I just have this gut feeling they're going to score. I think it's going to get into the late 60s, early 70s. I think we're going to get into that mark. So give me 146 over 146.5 VCU, BYU. Arkansas, Kansas. 2-1 on this game, all right? And they're involving a team I just picked, all right? We're going to take the over 145.5 Arkansas, Kansas. I think both teams are going to score. I think Arkansas is going to help get to that number. I think Kansas is going to score a little bit. I can see it over 145.5. Give me that. And I'm going to take Arkansas. I'm taking John Calipari over Bill Self. I don't like the way Kansas looks right now. I don't. Arkansas has played good if Cal doesn't make mistakes, right? That's what I worry about at the end of the games. Cal will fucking tell his guys to miss intentional free throws. And I'm like, Cal, just close the fucking game out, dude. That's what scares me about the spread. But give me Arkansas plus 4.5. I like it. All right. The Ivy League. I'm not saying Yale's going to win, but I think Yale's going to make Texas A&M sweat a little bit. Give me the Yale Bulldogs plus 7.5. I think this is a little too high. All right. But, again, this is what the small schools are for. You got to have a little fun, right? Give me the under 139.5. Texas A&M Yale. Yes, this is going to be an under. This is a physical game. I think they're going to, tire each other out. I think this is a dead under. All right, give me 139.5, Texas A&M and Yale. The Drake, plus 6.5. I like Drake to win. All right, I know I could have better odds on the money line. I know, but I like the plus 6.5 with Drake. I think Drake can beat Mizzou. All right, the total, let's have fun. Let's go over 132.5, Missouri Drake. I know Drake's a really good defense, right? Mizzou from the SEC. I think you're going to see this number. It's going to go in the high to mid 60s. Let's go over 132.5, Missouri Drake. Feels a little too low for me. Utah State, plus 5.5 against UCLA. I don't like UCLA. I would have added the under, but I'm a little unsure how that's going to game to go. That might be a small little play I just added, right? But I'm going to take Utah State plus 5.5. I like them to win against UCLA. So I might even take the under too. Let's add the under, all right? UC San Diego is going to beat Michigan. This is one of my favorite fucking plays of the week. I am not worried. Michigan, I think, is going to lose. I know people are like, Rich, you bet against Michigan. It's not looking good for you to start this first round. A 5 gets upset by a 12. I have 2 of them in my bracket. I'm not scared. UC San Diego is going to beat Michigan. Give me the money line. Over 147.5, Colorado State, Memphis, okay? I like this matchup, okay? I think that this is going to be a game where they do get into that 80 to 70 range. Memphis likes to push it. Colorado State's top 50, like in offensive and defensive efficiency, as I mentioned earlier. I like this game to go over 147.5. Colorado, Memphis, over. Over 150.5, Grand Canyon, Maryland. I think Maryland and them are just going to get at this number. I think they're going to go just over it, and I'm going to feel pretty good. Give me over Grand Canyon, Maryland, 150.5. Give me the over. New Mexico money line against Marquette. I think 4.5 is shockingly, a nice deal. Okay? And I think that New Mexico, give me the over. 153.5 against Marquette. I think Marquette's on fumes. I think both teams will get into those high 70s. Maybe one gets in the early 80s, right? But I think that New Mexico, I like them to beat Marquette. Okay? Over 147.5, UConn and Oklahoma. I think UConn's going to score. I'm a little curious to see how Oklahoma does, especially with what I know, and I told you guys earlier. I'm curious to see if he has a monster game for Oklahoma, and I'm going to pull his name up real quick, right? But I want to see if Oklahoma can lean on Jeremiah Fears to score a lot. I know UConn's going to make it difficult for him, but UConn's three-point shooting has not been good. I think Oklahoma can make and knock down a couple shots. Over 147.5, UConn, Oklahoma. I'm going to take it. And over 139.5, Liberty, Oregon. I think Dana Altman's team is going to win, but I do think Liberty's going to find a way to get a little hot early, and I think they're going to just get over this number. So I think both teams, Dana Altman's group, I think they can get into the 70s. I think that, again, if Liberty can get into the mid to high 60s, that'd be good, right? Then why people are like, why won't you take the spread, Rich? Well, because Oregon may score a little more than 80 on Liberty, okay? So I know Liberty's a good, 3-point shooting team, so I think we're going to have some fun here. Plus these 5-12s, I'm going to have a little fun with it. So give me over 139.5, Liberty and Oregon. Now, those are my guarantees. This is what I like, okay? So that's what I'm going to give you for those are my guarantees for the first round, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So, again, we're going to have more for the second round. Now, here's how this is going to work. For the second round, I'm going to probably post it on X because I got to see matchups, and I usually like to see what I like. And again, the brackets may tell you what I think might happen, but also we all know there's upsets that can mess things up, right? So I'm going to say this, all right? I'm going to post the picks on X for the second round, and then what I'll do is for the Sweet 16, I'll give you guys my picks maybe around Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's go ballpark. Elite 8, I'll be home. I'll give like a quick video what I like. And we'll go from there. So that's what I like. So this is the March Madness video. You didn't see me really talk a lot, but I wanted to give a little bit of guarantees. I wanted to give you a little bit of my bracket reactions and my analysis. Have some fun. I hope you guys enjoyed March Madness. The first 4 games are tonight. Have some fun, kick back, and enjoy the first weekend of March Madness and the total of March Madness. I will see you guys for the NFL mock draft. We're doing it again in April. So continue to enjoy your offseason if you're a football fan. For college basketball, it is just starting like us. Have a great offseason if you're an NFL fan. And have a great March Madness run, guys.